Story time is over. We need to move on to E3.
E3. Predictions.
So
Here we
it
go.
is upon us.
Yes.
It is that time.
How many predictions are we doing?
Now, before we get into that,
Trying to move us along.
there's a few things we have to go for all you guys out there who are not so hyped about E3 or don't know what it is and want to learn more because you have a fiance or some spouse who's like, I can't wait for E3. You're like, bless you. So whatever it may be, E3 stands for the Electronic Entertainment Expo. It happens every year, usually in June or at the end of May, and it's where all the game companies, first-party, third-party developers, indie developers, come together to showcase everyone else who's in the industry, their games that they are making, updates they're changing, new releases, new announcements, new peripherals, whatever it may be, for pretty much the entire world of the game industry.
Yep.
Usually, this is an event that's been going on for 25 years, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is the 27th year, so I mean, it's reached that 25-year milestone, but it's between 27 and 30 years is what we're on right now.
Yeah.
But it's been going on for a while, pretty much since we were almost born.
Pretty much.
And this is where all the biggest announcements have come, like PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, Xbox One, Xbox 3, all
Basically,
those.
big consoles get announced, really big games get announced here.
Mm-hmm. And
this is where all the info drops.
This is where all the information drops pretty much for the next year.
It's like Christmas. Except you don't get anything. They just tell you about stuff.
Yeah, so everyone is always trying to find out what they're going to announce. They're trying to find leaks. They know new things are coming, but so press is trying to get news stories. There's a lot that could go on. So what we do is we actually make our predictions for what we think is going to happen, like our end-of-year predictions we had. What's going to happen at this E3 show? At this show, third-party vendors get their own conference, which is usually about an hour to hour and a half long, which is like Bethesda, Ubisoft, and EA, I believe. And then there's also first-party studios, which is Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. They get their own conferences as well. They each usually are 2 conferences per day, and the show lasts for 5 days. Good?
Yeah, more or
Now,
less.
the interesting part about this E3, wow, something's really in my throat. I think it's that Domingo thing.
That's what it was.
All that extra saliva gathered to get that deep voice. But so this E3 is going to be one of the very first E3s where it's actually open to the public.
That's true.
You can actually have fans. They did 15,000 tickets for fans. And usually it's a closed event where it's just industry only or media.
Yeah, just press.
So it's going to be very interesting to see how crowded it is, what could go wrong, what could go right, if they're going to try to pull out more stops for this E3 and kind of go with the big bang because people will be there, try to feed off the reactions. It's going to be interesting to see just what happens in general because it's E3.
Mm-hmm. It's always interesting.
So that's how we're going to go into this. We have our prediction points. Yep. I think that going back and forth is fine.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
I'll let you start.
Okay.
Since this is the 20th episode and I am the host.
Okay, fair enough.
I really had no reason behind that. I was just rambling.
Because you usually have me go first on these things.
But what's going to happen is, I think that you have how many written down? You have 7?
I think I have 7. 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5,
Now,
6, 7.
When it comes to our predictions, we can say one thing, and however many bullet points you say can become fractions of those points.
Yeah.
By the end of the E3, which I'd say is, maybe
the end of next week?
I'd say maybe 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
Because there's some things that people were still announcing at E3 that they just haven't had time to report. So that we can get all the reports from E3.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do 2 weeks from now, and we'll do who won the E3 challenge of our points. Okay?
Got it. My wrist just cracked really weird. That was gross.
Now, I have, I think, 12 written down.
Dang.
But I've tried to label them which ones I think are most likely to happen and which ones I want to say.
Some of them, some of mine are very much just like pie in the sky things that I want out of E3, not necessarily.
Right.
Most of mine are what I would like, not necessarily what I think are going to happen.
Right. So I have some that are kind of either safe bets from things that people
I have
might
a couple
be
very safe bets.
rumor or speculating, and some that are like maybe I'd love this to happen, but I don't think it will, but there's
Yeah.
still a chance. So,
Cool.
Take the floor.
All right. I like to keep my points as clean as possible.
Gross.
I don't like to try to muddy the waters with all kinds of fractions of points and be all minuscule in my predictions to try to win something.
I'm a one-man apocalypse. Shut up.
Let me see. What am I going to do for my first one?
Did you like that?
I also, for some reason, there's a very specific theme in my predictions that I did not intend to actually carry through with a lot of my predictions.
Interesting. Oh, we gotta do the same thing we did for our years. Ready? Number 1.
I meant to do that too. I was thinking about that all day.
Doing like around the house, clean the kitchen. Number 1. At dishes. You're washing dishes.
Okay.
Jeez. I said you're keeping these predictions clean.
Said I'm keeping my numbers clean.
All right, so are yours just anything, or is it like specific conference that we're looking?
Basically everything I'm saying is specific to Sony.
Okay.
I think I'll start here, which was my last.
You didn't read mine, did
prediction. Yep, they all sucked because they're all wrong. All right, prediction number 1.
Did you really?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't read anything. The PlayStation Plus lineup will see a change. I think it was weird that it didn't change this month, but it makes sense because the first Tuesday came before E3. So what I believe they're going to announce at E3 is starting in July, the lineup is going to be changing to, we get 2 PlayStation 4 games. That's staying the same. Mm-hmm. We will get 1 to 2 PlayStation VR games. 1 to 2. I wrote 2, but so 2 VR games or experiences. So basically like anything from the VR catalog that's come out. 2 things, because they want to try to push VR. And in case you didn't pick up on this, VR is going to be like the thing that kind of carries through all my predictions inadvertently. And then they are going to be dropping support for Vita for PlayStation Plus because there are like no new games coming out for it. So the pool of stuff that's coming out is just basically cross-play games anyways. And they're going to offer 2 free game rentals through PlayStation Now. Either they're going to be specific games that you can play on PlayStation Now or some sort of voucher so that you get 2 free games that you get to choose every month on PlayStation Now to circumvent losing PS3 games and Vita games. So you're still getting 6 things.
You're kind of combining my old prediction.
The lineup
with,
is changing.
Plus change.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned that like 3 or 5 episodes ago.
Yeah. We've mentioned it a couple times. Like almost, it seems like the last E3.
I think that's a smart choice. I think it's a good bet. I don't know about the Plus thing though when it comes to VR games.
Yeah.
I just feel like them having to release 2 each month and their catalog is just not that big yet.
It's not that big, but that's why I included like the experiences, because like the Ghostbusters thing, The Martian, like all these movies that are coming out with stuff that people aren't really going to want to spend $8 to $10 on, but I would play it for free.
That's going to be interesting.
So
I hope that's right. I hope that comes true.
Yeah,
and I think a portion of that might be right with the whole Plus.
They could also kind of skirt it with like if there's the games that add VR support to their games, such as like
Battlefront and stuff. Like
Battlefront, Cat Lateral Damage added VR support.
Most of those are already free anyway. So
what was the Volume added VR support? So like I think that they could retcon some of those to be PSVR. Your free VR experience game for the month.
What about the ones like Battlefront and Volume where you need the full game to play that content? Are they just going to give you the content access?
Yes. They will give you that game for free that month because it has VR content.
So it's going to be like double down.
So technically you're getting 4 PlayStation. You could get up to 4 PS4 games, but 2 of them are going to be VR ready compatible.
Okay. Or you could get 2 PS4 games, but both have support for VR experiences.
No, so I'm not thinking. So you would get 2 regular PS4 games like you're getting now, but then you would also be getting. So like this month you're gonna get Yooka-Laylee and you're gonna get Persona 5 as your 2 PS4 games. That is not my prediction at all. For the PS4 side of it, for the PSVR side of it, you're gonna be getting Farpoint, which is a VR only game, and Resident Evil 7. Because it has PSVR built into it, or like Batman or whatever. Like you're still getting 4 games out of the deal, but 2 of them might still be playable without VR.
The store's market of games for VR that are $20 is outstanding.
There's a lot of stuff in there. Some of it seems really good too, and the price points are not that bad.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's definitely an interesting prediction.
And it could also spur people to getting more VR development. And potentially more VR games. So
where do I want to go?
Your turn.
Where do I want to go first with mine? Well, I might try as well do something VR related on my side.
Okay.
All right. You want to do my number 1 thing?
Number 1.
All right. I wasn't going to have this on my list.
Then don't.
Well, I want to match your VR thing.
No, you don't have to.
All right. This is going to be one of my safer ones.
Okay.
Bloodborne 2 will be announced, and Sony will have some type of exclusivity with with Bloodborne 2 when it comes to add-ons or DLC or release date. And there will be a collector's edition announced for Bloodborne 2 at certain retailers with
GameStop. Fucking GameStop.
With, in that collector's edition, an article of clothing.
Okay. The only thing I would say about that is I believe Sony owns Bloodborne, so it would have to be exclusive unless you're talking about not coming to PC.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm pretty sure Sony owns Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, it is a Sony title.
They published it and they own it, I believe. Just
well,
like
I mean,
Demon's
like,
Souls.
I was exclusive when it comes to content, like the add-ons and stuff like that. Like PC won't get those, but PS4 will. Things like that.
Okay. I think that would be really dumb if they did that, but it would make sense if like it was on Xbox and they were like, "No, we're keeping all the good stuff." But...
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I like all the other parts of your prediction.
Yeah,
and I like the article of clothing.
Yeah.
Very curious to see what dirty article.
I think it could be one of those like hats.
The hats, yeah, that's what I thought
or
first.
Or like an armband or some type of eye patch or something. I don't know.
What about like a giant trench coat, big duster?
Sure. Or it could be like one of the styrofoam weapons, but as a keychain. I don't know. Some that they can take away at Comic-Con again. Who knows? But cool. All right, that's number one for me. Very safe bet. But go ahead.
All right. Where am I gonna go from here? I actually kind of have like two things that kind of permeate through all my stuff. All right, I'll keep this VR train rolling for now. We'll deviate on this next one a little bit. EA Sports will take the stage at Sony's press conference. Well, maybe not because they have their own thing going on. But I believe that EA will come out and be like, "Hey, we like this PSVR. Madden is going to be in first-person view on PSVR. You get to play as your character from their perspective."
That's one of my predictions for 2017. Damn it. I should have gone back and watched the show.
Is it really?
Yes.
Damn. That was literally the first thing that I thought of that would be really cool because it's like, what do I want out of VR? Sports shit. I want to play a baseball game in first person. I want to play football. I'd play basketball, I guess.
Well, they have the NBA 2K experience for VR, but it's just like throwing a three-point shot and trick shots. Like it's not actually playing the game that way.
Because I think Madden would work really well full game. Basketball would be a little tough just with all the moving around and stuff.
It comes with a basketball peripheral where you have to bounce it with the VR headset on.
Good luck, everybody else. Got to put the wrist strap on my basketball.
But it's gonna come with like one of those bracelets. It's like those yo-yos that like come back to you no matter what.
Oh, that's
so you're
sick.
like dribbling and shooting.
Kobe,
broken fan.
Did I do that already? Thanks, Sports Bar.
All right, cool. Yeah, I would love to see that.
I think EA will get behind. I think Sony's gonna. In case you don't notice, Sony's gonna put a lot of effort behind PSVR this year. I think because it sold really well, and they've said that it's kind of done as well or better than they were anticipating it doing. I think it's going to be a major key factor in their shows. Okay. That is not my prediction, but all these other things are
interesting.
To
I actually have now we have a special email from one of our fans who wrote their predictions to us.
Nice.
So we'll read those predictions a little bit later on after we're done with ours. All right, my number two. I didn't do number two. Son of a bitch.
Number two.
Number two. I think from Nintendo, there will. Which one should I go with first? I hope you don't. All right, I think that you're gonna say this one, so I'm gonna go with it, so that way you can't say it.
I only did Sony stuff.
Okay, so I will go with
good
this
on
one.
Nintendo.
I think that with Nintendo, they're gonna announce the new classic Super Nintendo system, which is gonna be the smaller portion size, just like they did with the Nintendo.
SNES Mini, basically.
Yep, SNES Mini, which will be launching this year.
Yep.
I'm going to give you all my breakdowns, which will be launching this year.
All your minuscule points.
In November.
Okay.
For $80.
80? Interesting. Last one was 60, right?
But from Nintendo to Super Nintendo, bump up.
Because you got to bump up those graphics.
Yeah, 16-bit, man, from 8-bit. You got to go bigger, go home.
How much more emulation that requires.
$20. I think that you are going to have 30 games.
So same amount of games.
$20
more.
And the games are going to include... I am telling you, I have all these broken down. So you're going to have Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Zelda, A Link to the Past,
of course,
and either Chrono Trigger or F-Zero, or both.
I was going to say both of those probably. I'm with you on all of it. But that price point, man, like I could justify the price if they were like, instead of 30 games, we're giving you 50 SNES games.
And it will not have Wi-Fi access.
No, of course it won't.
There will be no connection to the store at all.
No, it will not connect to the store.
They will not have learned their lesson.
No, they will not. No expandable memory. You cannot add or take away games. But that's why I think they will be like, oh, well, we're not letting you do that. But I could see them being like, here's 50 games or here's 40 games. So it's more than you got last time. Like, we listened to you guys. You want more. That's not what we said,
I think
Nintendo.
the only part they're going to listen to is a longer cord for the controller.
Hopefully.
But, I mean, yeah, I think it's going to happen for sure. I think it's definitely going to be announced. But, I mean, you can, I might get those dates wrong or the price wrong or amount of games wrong, but I think the rest of that's... What? Well, you think
I might get
too
4
much
out of my 5 points in this prediction wrong, but I'll get at least one of these things
I gave
right.
you like a bunch to add on to that, so enough chances for me to be wrong. So
Yeah.
Too safe? Should I go with a different one?
No, it's fine.
All right.
It's not. I have 2 far safer things on my list. I'm not going to go with them because I think I like all my other ones better.
Number 3.
All right, this one is not VR related, and this is a total. I really want this to happen because I'm jealous of what Xbox has. Sony will make themselves a pro or an elite version of their controller that has a better battery. Oh, I guess I did kind of like break this one down a little bit. That will have a better battery life. It'll be a little bit smoother ergonomically, so like being able to hold it for longer periods of time, that kind of stuff.
First party pro controller.
And the main point of it is the fact that it'll have the bumper buttons on the back side of the controller, so you can access your face buttons without removing your fingers from the joysticks.
They have that for the Microsoft.
Because I really want that controller.
What would you use it for? Destiny?
For whatever, but yeah, Destiny for
Mostly
sure.
first-person shooters.
Yeah. Sony
programmable macros.
Sony partnered with I forget the peripheral maker. I want to say Pelican, but I don't think that's right. Maybe 2 different people
Turtle Beach.
make
no, not Turtle Beach.
pro controllers
Nyko
that do those things, but they look ugly as hell. And I really don't like them. And I just want Sony to make a first-party one that looks as good as the way Microsoft designed their Elite controller.
Yeah,
I want that Elite controller so bad. I don't even have an Xbox, and I just want
that Elite controller is very.
It is super nice.
Is it weird to say sexy?
No, because it is. The thing is nice.
All right.
So I just really want Sony to make their own version of it, and not farm it out to third-party controllers.
Okay. There are a few predictions I have on here that I'm like, it could happen at E3, but I think there's a better chance it might happen at PSX or something like that.
PSX, TGS.
Yeah. So.
Any of the other stuff?
All right, here with number 3.
Number 3.
All right, this one's going to be... All right, so it's going to be... Quantic Dreams Detroit will be giving another live demonstration gameplay footage, walkthrough.
Yeah.
And will
different scene, or are we seeing the same
different
scene again?
scene?
Okay.
And will be released this fall.
Yay!
With Sony exclusivity and DLC or add-ons of some sort.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't see it ever going multi-platform. I don't think Quantic Dream wants to.
Well, I know that Microsoft was trying to talk to Quantic Dream about having them develop this one for it, because it's not. I mean, Quantic Dream has worked with Sony, but they're not an owned studio.
Right, they're a second-party studio.
Yeah,
where they just like Insomniac was.
They've had agreements, like contracts, to work with
Insomniac
Sony on previous games, but they've never been like bought out by Sony. So you're making this, There's still a chance, though.
Still a chance. Really, I really like their stuff,
and
I really want that game.
And they sell, like their games sell.
They do.
Well.
They sell really well.
So that's
I like that. That is a very good prediction.
Because no one's talking about it, and it hasn't been shown since last E3, so it's already gone quiet for a while.
I almost don't want them to show another scene though, like.
Why? Because the games are so short.
I mean,
they're
kind
usually
of
like 10 hours or less. So.
Yeah, it's like watching a movie, but you don't want to watch too much of the movie.
But think about the first thing they showed. They showed only like a 5-minute clip.
Yeah.
And that took like 15, 20 minutes on the show floor.
True, because they kind of like read. Yeah, that's true. If they did something similar like that, where it's just a very small chunk, but
it'll be compressed.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like when Heavy Rain came out, and there was the demo that they put out on the store, which was like a pretty sizable chunk, and so I don't want it to like influence my play or like spoil.
Well, that's
the
why I said the
experience
DLC
of it.
part, because the
DLC part sounds
taxidermist,
pretty cool.
that was supposed to just be the demo.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, this is not going to be the demo. We're going to have a different tech demo for you.
Interesting.
And we added this on for Sony's exclusive DLC.
Nice.
So,
Cool. I like
think-
it.
So,
I think it's a good one.
okay.
Number 4.
Number 4. All right,
Quattro.
sticking with... Now I'm going to combine my prediction pathways here with the VR and the controllers. New PSVR controller wands will be revealed. They will have analog sticks in addition to the current setup of buttons that are on your Move controllers. And they will be compatible with all games. They'll be backwards compatible with all VR and related games for like Move controller situations. But going forward, games will be developed exclusively for them. So specifically what I'm looking for is getting the analog sticks into the Move controllers and redesigning them a little bit so they're a little easier to manage when you're not able to see the controllers right away.
Wait, so say it again?
Okay. New PSVR controller wands revealed.
Like
So,
the Move controllers.
Replacing an updated version of the Move controllers
Okay.
that have analog sticks on them.
Gyroscope, GPS.
Yep, all that good stuff. They're still going to have the balls because that's what tracks in VR. That's just the way it is for this generation. All the other buttons are still going to be there. You're going to have access to your X and your square and circle. You're going to have your shoulder buttons and all that good stuff.
With the new peripheral VR elliptical.
Yeah.
I can see like I'm running somewhere.
It's like I'm there.
It's like I'm walking in the Olympics.
So that would be my number 4.
VR treadmill.
Perfect. Coming to PlayStation Plus in July.
With free bonus DLC Vertigo.
Nice. No extra charge.
Nice. That's interesting. I would like that too. That could
Because
be very helpful.
it just feels so weird playing with controllers that were developed for PS3 motion tracking stuff on PSVR. Like there's enough that it works.
Well, yeah, it works, but
it needs more.
it feels
to
like the
to-
technology's outdated for.
It feels like it's handicapping itself. Like the fact that the aim controller has both of the analog sticks on it was very smart, and I think makes it so it's going to be very useful for a lot of games going forward. The Move controllers are very limiting in what they can do. You can't necessarily play any real games unless you're just doing like the Batman thing where you're teleporting around the room.
What if like this new controller that you're talking about just had a replacement face? So imagine like you're holding a Move controller, right? A Move wand.
Yeah.
And where all the buttons are in the front. Imagine if that was an entire dock that you could take out and replace with a different set of buttons.
That could be cool.
And it still has the same functionality. The buttons are actually programmed into the dock itself, so when you connect it, it syncs.
So it knows what.
Yeah,
So you could get like game specific.
yeah. But the
buttons going
technology
on.
would still be there and updated.
That'd be pretty cool. I could see that.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I just want analog sticks on my moves so I can play real games.
All right. Hit me with number 4.
Number 4.
Give me 1 or 2. Say 1 or 2.
Number 2.
Damn it. All right. During Sony's conference, Borderlands 3 will be announced.
That'd be awesome. I don't care whose conference it gets announced at. That would just be awesome.
It will be shown with Randy Pitchford coming up to the screen and talking about the new characters, discussing the new classes. You're not gonna see a full demonstration of gameplay, but maybe like an intro.
Would you see like one of the characters being demonstrated?
So
on screen?
you'd see an opening,
Yeah.
and so you in that opening you're gonna get like a montage afterwards with some gameplay footage. But it's
Yeah.
not gonna be like a live demo or like a gameplay demo.
Got
But
it.
you're gonna see some gameplay in the montage, and they're gonna discuss the characters you'll be able to play as in their roles and classes.
Got it. All right, cool. I like it.
Cool.
Man, if you were sad about doing that one, what was your number 1?
Number 5.
All right, so here we are at the culmination of everything that I've been building towards in my E3 prediction cinematic universe.
VR 2.0.
The fact that we are getting new VR controllers and
Pro controllers and VR Plus games.
Yes, all this stuff is culminating in the announcement that Super Hot VR will be coming to PlayStation VR, which is a game that I really want to play. So
Super Hot
Super
VR.
Hot is a game on PC.
I'm like, what?
Let's take a step back here. Superhot is a game that's on PC. The graphic style is very like clean, where everything is almost like White Room stuff.
Okay.
And it's like vector graphics almost, so everybody's basically like walking polygons. It's not super detailed. It's a much more artistic take on it, but it's just like clean and simple. The whole gameplay premise is that the world doesn't move. Nothing happens in the world unless you are physically moving.
I think I've seen this.
And so you have to escape from these situations and like take out guards and bad guys. But anytime you're moving, they are also attacking and coming at you. So if you stop moving, they stop moving, and you can plan what you're doing.
I've seen this. Isn't it already out for PC?
It is. It's been out for a while. And they recently put it on Oculus with the Rift controllers.
Yeah.
And so you're doing all that, but in VR now. And like after you finish the missions, what's really cool is then you get to see like play back in real time all of your stuff. So you look like Neo from the Matrix, fighting off all these people and doing all kinds of cool stuff. So that's why
that did look interesting to me. But...
I really want to play that game.
Really?
But I just really don't have a PC capable of running any VR.
Or an Oculus.
Yeah, or an Oculus.
Or $700 or $800 for an Oculus.
I have a PSVR, and I guess I could spend money on new Move controllers.
Okay, what am I going to do?
All right.
Number 5.
Is this our last one?
Last one.
Oh, shit.
I have 2 more, but...
Let's just do them.
Okay.
I mean, like, I don't think ours
They're not super great.
I don't think ours are going to overlap.
Probably not.
All right. I think that the Xbox Scorpio...
Oh, dude, that was mine.
Shut up.
No, I'm just kidding.
The Xbox Scorpio is going to be announced.
Yeah.
And they're going to demonstrate their augmented reality
Interesting.
on stage, while it's going to either have some hiccups or it's going to seem like the entire situation was scripted to where it can't go wrong.
They're going to play it super safe then.
Super safe demonstration of the augmented reality for the new Xbox Scorpio.
Okay.
And with addition to it, the augmented reality, they're going to show you that, surprise, surprise, there's also a new controller for Xbox Scorpio, which will balance out with the gameplay as well as the augmented reality situations.
Interesting. There's a lot to unpack in that prediction. Okay. I can see it, though.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm trying to give everyone fair, time, like Sony,
I
Microsoft.
didn't. I just want to talk about Sony stuff.
I mean, I had
very biased
I
in
had
my
enough.
prediction. Everything else, I'm like, I could come up with stuff, but I'm just like, eh.
See, I didn't overlap yours at all, did I?
No.
All right,
I told you, everything I had was all Sony related.
2 more. Hit me with them.
Number 6. Bonus number 1.
Number after 5.
This is going to be a really lame one. I feel like both the other ones, my bonus ones, are kind of lame. That's why I didn't do them. But I think that Sony is, because Scorpio is going to get announced and Microsoft announces before Sony, either way, regardless of what the price of Scorpio is going to be, Sony is going to announce a $50 price reduction for base model and Pro of PS4.
I have that one.
But PSVR will not receive a price cut. It will just be the systems.
So you said for base model and for Pro, right?
Base and Pro.
And the base model is the 1 terabyte.
I didn't say what size hard drive it would be, but since they currently are selling a $250 1 terabyte gold slim PS4, yeah, I'm assuming it's probably going to be 1 terabyte going forward.
I think that's iffy. I think that you're very right on the PlayStation 4 itself, the base model.
Yeah.
The Pro, I think that is going to get a price drop, but not announced until PSX.
See, I think that to combat anything goodwill related from Scorpio, they have to say, we have this machine that's already doing 90% of what Scorpio is going to do. It doesn't have
Just
as
another
much
kick in the teeth, right?
Yeah. It doesn't have as much like horsepower down there under the hood, but it's going to be $50 less than it is right now, which is still going to be less than what they're going to launch at.
So what price point are you saying? Because you're saying $50 less. Are you saying $250 or are you saying $200? Because there's a lot of
$250 will be the base model PS4 price.
It's been on sale for like the last month and a half at $250, but they've never said that's the official price.
It's always been a
listed
sale price.
as a sale, yeah.
Right. I think it's going to get an official price drop to $250 and $350 for the 2 SKUs.
I know this is not your prediction. I'm asking, do you think the bundle is going to be announced with that $250 price drop?
What bundle?
They usually always have a bundle. Hey, we've dropped the price, and there's also a new
like
bundle
$250
coming
in
out.
a game or something.
Yeah, and
no, I don't think so. I think the $50 credit is, or the $50 price drop is enough to kind of keep pushing consoles.
Okay.
Sorry, I stole one of yours.
No, you're good. I mean, mine was a little different, but I mean, still.
Okay.
All right, hit me with number 6.
All right. The other one that's super lame. God of War is going to be coming out this year in November.
Oh, that's number 7.
It's going to be there.
I was saying say number 6 for me. So I could...
Oh, I was like, all right, this is weird that I'm going twice. Sorry.
Number 7.
Number 7. God of War is going to get announced. It's coming out this November as the big Sony holiday title.
Nice.
Another very safe type of a bet.
Either get the new Super Nintendo Classic or get God of War.
Right? Because they're going to be... No, get God of War because it's going to be cheaper, apparently.
Isn't it already announced for to be released in this?
No date, I don't think.
No date set. You think they're just going to give it an official date?
I think they'll get an official date this year. Since it's like a gigantic-ass painting that they just finished a mural of at E3 in LA.
Oh.
There's a huge God of War thing that they painted.
Good eyesight.
Because they've been tweeting updates about it every couple days or whatever.
Okay.
So I think that will be the big holiday game this year.
So then I'm doing 6 and 7 then.
Yeah,
right?
go ahead and just hit me with them.
Number 6. Bonus. Bonus. Disgusting.
All right, I am going to say there are going to be 2 Mario games shown on the Nintendo conference.
Woohoo!
One is going to be the one with his hat, which is lame and
Mario
stupid.
Odyssey?
Yep,
For the
Mario
Switch?
Odyssey. They're going to have a new...
Yeah, that'll definitely be there.
New demonstration of that. They're also going to have another Mario game displayed. That worried me.
Freaked me out too. I was drinking and then dropped my bottle so I could see what you did.
Oh. Damn it. Can I combine this with another one?
I don't care.
All right,
Bonus points anyway,
I was
so
going
they
to
don't
say,
count.
so they're going to have...
Hang on, time out. These predictions don't count towards our points, correct?
Sure.
Okay.
They don't have to.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, we'll just say the rest of our predictions then. So, I think that there was going to be 2 Mario games shown.
Okay.
It's going to be the Mario Odyssey and something else.
Okay.
And there was also going to be, for the Switch, announced later this year for fall, a new Smash Brothers for Switch.
That is a very, very good bet. That's Smash Brothers. I don't know. I don't think that they'll announce it at E3. I think they'll drop that like a month or so after E3. I think that would be like a summertime release of there's no games or media coming out about Switch crap. All right, cool. Here you go. Smash Brothers is coming out in a couple months.
Adding on to that,
Okay.
for some of the characters are going to be like, ooh, surprise, look who's here at the end.
Yeah.
How they do that. Characters from that boxing game for Switch.
Arms. Oh yeah, that's a shoe-in.
And then also some weird fucking dumbass character, maybe one of the controllers. The Jello! Like Professor Frank. Raven! Some
Okay.
character from 1-2 Switch.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe, or...
No, I think
Bomberman.
they would have a level based on 1-2 Switch. That's what it would be.
Yeah, something from 1-2 Switch, and then also the ARMS people from...
Yeah.
So they can have some Switch-related content in there.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right. What other ones do you... Oh, let me do my number 7.
Yeah.
Number 7.
Number 7 is that there is going to be either a gameplay demonstration of either State of Decay, Gone Home, or Metal Gear Survive. And one of those, whatever one's shown, is going to have a montage. And with a release date of this year. Now, if it is Metal Gear Survive,
I feel like they have to get off that, yeah.
If it is Metal Gear Survive, they're going to have the crazy montage after a demonstration of gameplay, a new section of demonstration gameplay, and in that montage is going to be something with Snake showing up for some reason.
Interesting. That would be a huge deal if Snake showed up.
Yeah.
I think fans are going to flip the hell out of that.
Yeah, there'll be a lot to talk about if that happens.
Yeah.
So that's why I put that in
Interesting. All right, cool. I like it.
there. All right. Anything else for you?
No, that was all my predictions. So if you have any more, hit me up.
I was going to say there'll be at least 2 more VR games announced during the Sony's conference. As support. There will be the new Assassin's Creed game, Origins.
Yes.
It's going to not be a continuation of the story, but be a prequel before Altair.
Okay.
It is also going to have them demonstrating a new mechanic with the leap of faith.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He sprouts wings and flies.
And then...
Too close to the sun.
And then my last one was the fact that Bethesda, during their conference, is going to show Starfield, the live tech demo or gameplay demo.
What is Starfield?
It's like Skyrim, but in outer space.
Oh, got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So that's what I had.
Nice.
Cool.
I like that you well rounded out your stuff, and I very much focused on
I tried.
VR and controllers.
From previous years, I'm like, Sony. I'm like, nah, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I mean, that's the show. I mean, we have a few things from our reader mails. I'm going to read you my good friend Irvin's predictions. He wrote into the show. He's like, hey, I got my predictions. Here's his 7 predictions.
What up, Irvin?
Scorpio is going to have VR support, and it's going to be on the Scorpio.
Wrong.
And he's saying whether it's VR support for Oculus,
Yeah.
another device, or it's going to be VR support for the augmented reality.
Okay.
He says the PS4 is going to actually be included when it comes to Microsoft's EA Access.
What? Oh, that PS4 is going to get EA access now?
Yeah.
That would be kind of nice. The only reason I see that never happening is because Sony wants to push PlayStation Now stuff.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that's the only reason EA is not there currently.
He says at some point they're going to hint at a new Uncharted game that is not
not the
Chloe
one that's
story,
okay,
a
got
new
it.
Uncharted game.
Interesting.
Like
With Nathan though?
Whether it's a teaser or an actual trailer or something, he says they're going to hint at it.
Interesting.
They're also going to have more gameplay and live gameplay of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Probably.
They are going to announce the new Tomb Raider.
Okay. Did he say where Red Dead was going to be shown? Which stage?
No.
Interesting. I would anticipate Sony just based on history, but you never know.
The new Tomb Raider game is going to be announced.
Okay.
The new Metal Gear Solid game is going to be announced, which is he didn't
Survive?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's more like content about it.
Oh, okay, got it.
And for the Switch, they're going to announce Mario Party for the Switch.
That'd be pretty cool. Pretty dope.
Because you
Mario
can
Party.
compatibility with other consoles, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
makes sense.
You could like play,
And it's a portable party game is basically what it's trying to be.
With the mini
system-wise.
games, you could play a mini game just on your screen while playing with other people, where you can control something they can't see your screen. So
How would they play if they can't see what's...
no. So like imagine if you had 2 devices or 4 devices. There'd be a game where you could play a mini game without them seeing what you're doing. So it's like kind of playing with them, but
I gotcha.
they can't. Yeah.
You need multiple switches. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
those were his predictions.
Like it.